So I went to sleep and now I'm awake again. I started working on the kind of inventory UI. I'm still struggling with the aspect ratio, whether or not to go portrait or landscape. Because this has turned into the nerdiest video thing ever, I faced an issue, right? So if I want to have 30 tiles on screen, it's going to go off the bottom of the screen depending on the screen resolution, right, or the screen ratio. So let's say that it's this wide. Well, you can't see, but that's definitely going. As I get wider, it goes off the bottom of the screen. No matter what ratio I'm in, I want it to fill up the bottom of the screen nicely, so it feels really good. The issue is that the world, it's my own fucking pain, right? Like, I have this camera system that's really cool and really powerful, but it's not that easy to use. So I have to align the floor exactly with the top of my UI, and then I can move the UI up and down accordingly to the size of the screen. I've never really managed to get that working. So why are there all these like pink dots and white lines on the screen? So the pink dot, if I go to my inventory manager, is this little tracker thing. So every frame I remake the array and position it of icons, and then I just position the tracker to where I think the top of the first icon is, right? And so I draw that tracker to make sure that it's correct in every ratio. So once I'm sure that I have that correct value in every single ratio, which amazingly didn't take lots of weird math, I then do this thing in my camera manager, which is set my UI position. So this is me forcing the camera to a certain position. So the camera zoom, if I set that to 1, then the draw origin, the zoom origin I talked about before, doesn't have any impact on anything, right? But so I think this is the correct place for the zoom origin. But I need to start zooming my camera in. But the weird thing is, obviously my camera is not aligning correctly with the floor. So that white line that I drew is the exact line of the floor. So if I can get my UI to line up perfectly with that, then I've done something. So as you see, the top of the UI is 400, the screen resolution height always is 768, and then I recalculate it with a matrix later on. Well, it's not a matrix, it's some terrible thing I wrote. So 400, I don't know what that's going to do. Probably completely the wrong thing. So then I just mess around and try to get things to line up so that eventually it moves correctly. As you can see, it's not. But I always like to try and do things like in a very exact way and set up lots of test cases so it's really easy for me to find the issues. So having this kind of regenerated on every frame and being able to cycle through the resolutions allows me to fix all the issues in a very controlled environment. How interesting.